And we are live. Mitch, I don't see you in the space.
That's weird because I'm in there
Now I see you.
and I've requested.
All right. All right. Can we do audio check, Eric?
Test, test.
Yeah. You sound a little weird on the space, but I was able to hear you. What mic are
Hello,
you using for the
everyone.
space?
The usual one, the AirPods.
Hmm. All right. I don't know. I'm just getting a lot of feedback. Sounds like you're in a tunnel. I don't know. Let everyone in the threadcast, you can comment if it's just me or
Okay, maybe like this.
yeah, that's better. All right, sweet. Mitch, mic test.
The cat is without a hat.
Cool. The cat is without a hat. All right, sweet. So got everybody. The last space, the last space crashed. So I am putting out all the new links right now for everybody. But if you're wondering why, we have a new space link. That would be why. Uh, so that's a
This would be a
link.
perfect time for some of the posts that tell me why GIF in the threadcast.
Let's see. All right, while I get all these links out, Mitch, you want to tell us what's happening in the crypto markets right now? I woke up and I saw that Bitcoin was at 68K, and between
Whoa, what?
then and now, I saw it drop to 65, and now it's at 66 and a half. What's happening with crypto?
Man, apparently I should have not
Prime.
fell into a TikTok death scroll this morning and looked at crypto
Oh, I can't
instead.
hear you, Mitch, on the space.
Oh, that's right. I've gotten so good at muting when I'm not talking that I forget I'm muted. None. I was joking saying that I regret falling into a TikTok death scroll this morning because clearly it kept me from checking on the crypto market.
That's not good. Um,
Yeah, I'm looking at the chart right now. Yeah, it looked like it tried to bust above that last high, but got knocked back down. So I don't know. Is it just gonna run out of steam there? And I mean, we've basically kind of been stuck between, well, stuck under 66 since early August.
I can tell you what happened.
let's
Tell me,
hear it.
Eric.
The secret ingredient is crime. No, I'm just kidding, but it's very interesting how a big volatility to the top and then all the way down. Seems like someone's trying to liquidate as many positions as possible before we rip to the upside.
Yeah.
Well, given you said that, and I'm on board with it, this is why when we were at 60K just last Thursday, um, I had a little stable coin free up. So I was like, oh, sweet, let me nibble on a little more Bitcoin. But then I'm like, we've dipped down to the mid 50s the last two times, after rallying. So I decided to sit on my hands, hoping I can buy down in the mid 50s. But apparently that did not happen.
Yeah, I my strategy's been a little interesting, and if you've followed my creator subscription at all, I've been talking about my trades and sharing them in there, both in terms of threads and in the weekly newsletter I started putting out, but I've been actually converting a pretty large amount of Bitcoin into Ethereum, and I've managed to do it in kind of a nice way because I've been setting limit orders on Bitcoin, above market, and kind of similar to today, we see these like random spikes up, like liquidating shorts, like Eric was saying. So you might see a spike up to like 68 and a half, but then it immediately comes back down. So I've been setting these limit orders and actually getting a pretty good amount of fills. And then that's obviously selling Bitcoin into USDT. And then I've been setting limit orders to buy Ethereum, below market. And then when you see those swings downward, I'm actually getting those filled. So I'm getting some really nice fills with all this volatility. And it's just kind of, I guess it's like some nice like micro earnings, while I convert a lot of my Bitcoin to Ethereum, because I've obviously been seeing this kind of massive opportunity, in terms of the ETH Bitcoin price. There's a lot of people following the ETH Bitcoin chart, so there's a lot of technical analysis behind this, and then there's a lot of fundamental analysis behind what's happening on Ethereum. So there's a lot of people who are upset. There's a lot of people who are feeling like Ethereum's having a lot of issues, and that's ultimately been kind of creating a nice environment for buying Ethereum, especially using Bitcoin to buy Ethereum. So I'm of the opinion that we'll see, like right now, the Ethereum Bitcoin price is, let's see what we're at today, 0.039. And I've really started legging into this trade at anything under 0.04. So it's been a nice, it's been a nice opportunity, in my opinion, to load up on Ethereum. And then, I think what's going to happen is similar to the last cycle, when alts do start, kind of gaining some dominance, and the Bitcoin dominance goes down, Ethereum could go from, 0.04 to something like 0.08 in Bitcoin terms. Obviously, we don't know what that means in terms of dollars. It could be higher or lower in terms of the USD value. But what I'm going for here, my goal with it is to actually get more Bitcoin. So, if it is more dollars, I'll obviously be happy. And I actually believe it's going to be more dollars. I think Bitcoin could be pushing 100K when this happens, but then Ethereum will just push a lot higher. So that's my personal take, personal opinion. If you want to follow along in real time, subscribe to my creator subscription.
That was a
I like
nice
it.
soft chill.
Thank you.
I mean,
Eric,
in the
I wasn't
end,
going to
that's
recognize
exactly,
it.
one of the ideas that we've been discussing with the team for, for people who are listening and want to have their own creator subscription, is that it's not only about what you offer as a creator for your subscribers, but it's also the way you market it and the way you sell it. In the end, we're all selling something. It would be either content, it would be either information, it would be either like whatever, entertainment, fun times, whatever. But in the end, it's all about how you sell it. So one of the initiatives, and Cal maybe wants to talk about this today, or maybe he wants to wait until it's completely polished. But one of the ideas is to actually make INLEO content creators be able to monetize their subscriber model, not only the content creation, the normal or the usual content creation side of Hive.
Yeah, it's really the goal here is, and the INLEO vision and the kind of the mission statement. I was talking about this on the Dash podcast, has evolved a lot over time, but the core of it always has remained the same. But this kind of evolution we've reached, I think, is that our target audience, and really trying to niche down and define that target audience very clearly, is small to medium-sized creators, across all different platforms. When you look at X, you look at Facebook, Patreon, Substack, all these other platforms, the small to medium-sized creator is mostly forgotten about. They earn very little or nothing, despite having anywhere from, say, like 1,000 to 100,000 people following them, and engaging with their content. You could have 50,000 followers on X and earn $0 per month. So, the opportunity that we bring to the table for these smaller creators is that the platform that we have is so small. When you come over with 100 audience members, that's actually, that would make you one of the largest creators on the platform. So I think there's an opportunity there. And then the fact that we're on a blockchain, so we've got the tokenization of content. And then now with last week's launch of the creator subscriptions, now not only can you earn instantly with no audience because of tokenization, you can actually earn as you build your audience because of the creator subscriptions. So, you may get one person that subscribes to you, two, three, four, five, and then you're earning crypto every single month. And it pays out instantly. The fees are very low. It's obviously in crypto, so jurisdictionally it has a lot more benefits than getting paid in fiat. From KYC perspectives and other perspectives as well. So I just think what we're building in terms of a stack for creators is really powerful, especially for those smaller creators on other platforms that are completely underserved and who ultimately actually build the platform. Like if you look at how Facebook, X, and these other platforms really grew and built themselves, it was on the backs of the smaller and mid-sized creators and consumers. The big creators came later, essentially. So, the average user is very much forgotten about on these other platforms. But I think where INLEO's niche really thrives is that we can serve the smaller user and the smaller creators very well and create opportunities for them that don't exist elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And yeah, I was just looking at, I didn't look at the chart, but now so it went from 67, 600 and something to 64, 900. That's a big wick. I didn't notice it was so aggressive. And now it's back at 66, 670. So, and it's climbing. It's climbing live.
Yeah, I'm not
Hmm.
sure what's going on with the market. Like I said, I woke up and I saw that it wicked up to like 68, and then every time I checked it from there, it was just down, down, down. So it looks like we're coming back a little bit. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean to change the topic again, but yeah, it's so weird.
Well, I think
Hey,
there's no catalyst, right? Everyone always wants to have some kind of clear catalyst, and there's really been nothing specific on why, Bitcoin literally looked like I wanted to go back down. It was sitting at 60 and kind of just flailing a little bit. And I mean, like I wrote, granted, lately I haven't written nearly as much. I mean, after going on like a 4-year run of posting every day, I finally like started burning out. And then like this year, I don't post that much. But a couple of days ago, I did a post that was called Bitcoin looks like it's going down without going down. And like you looked at the chart, I was like, all right, we're kind of making like lower lows and lower highs, but at the same time, we're not really going to new lows. So it was like an odd narrative. And maybe that was just a sign that, there was more strength in the price action, as it looked like Bitcoin was going down and things pointed that way, but it never really was actually going any lower. So maybe that's like a relative strength type of thing. And, this rally the last week, is less of a surprise. I don't know. And also like Bitcoin dominance, I haven't looked at that chart in a while. I just looked now with Cal mentioning it. And, we're back up at that 58 area, which is a huge pivot point, and has been kind of a point of contention in years gone past. So if we push above into the 60s, I mean, we're going to see Bitcoin dominance that we haven't seen in years, um, since basically mid early to 2021. So that'd be super interesting um, if we continue to see Bitcoin kind of creep up, and maybe it will because you're looking at the alts. Cal talks about Ethereum, and I think that potentially is a sick play if it works out. I think that'd be nice and tasty. But then you look at how some of these other alts are performing outside of like BNB. I think people forget about BNB. I looked at BNB the other day. That thing is holding up like a champ. Um, But then you look at like Matic and coins like that, and they're all still sitting, near lows. Um, even Rune's got somewhat of a bounce, but a lot of these other alts aren't doing anything. So that also, you know, makes sense with Bitcoin dominance slowly creeping up.
Yeah, and I've been tuning into some spaces just to see what the market sentiment is, at least from the people who have a voice on X and have followers, etc. And one topic that has been brought up a lot. I don't even remember if I mentioned it last week on the AMA call, but uh, a lot of people think or theorize that if Donald Trump gets elected, one of his main, crypto-oriented promises, campaign promises, was to make Bitcoin part of the reserve. And even though the US is the biggest holder right now of Bitcoin, we might see a lot of buys from the government. I mean, of course, they are not going to lump sum into it. They are going to just ease into it. But do you think we will see um, a kind of front running from other countries if Donald Trump gets elected, because they will want to buy before the US officially buys, and then FOMO kicks in, and we see a like a race before 100K.
Well, I think you have to remember that campaign promises are campaign promises, and I think most people know that from a political perspective, um, especially. So I think these other countries probably wouldn't try to front run it. I think it's kind of like if they're going to adopt it, they're going to adopt it type of thing. Um, that being said, I do think that Trump is generally a pretty positive for crypto, and just for like the world economy. So yeah, I mean, I think overall net positive, but I think a little bit of a non-event in my opinion. Um,
Well,
I'm
I
I'm
mean,
much more concerned with that we're post happening and the broader kind of economic cycle around the Fed and quantitative easing. What do you think, Mitch?
I don't know, like, I don't know if you could really even consider it front running, right? Because there's no guarantee Trump wins. Like for me, I'm looking at, the US election as a risk, so to speak, in terms of if Trump wins, then yeah, Bitcoin probably goes up. If he loses, Bitcoin probably goes down. And I say probably because shit, the complete opposite could happen, right? So, um, that's a risk trade. If you're like in a quote unquote front run, you're loading up, and then if Trump loses, you might get owned. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I guess yeah, you could get ahead of it, but it's still a trade risk at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going
So
to be a sell the news event. I think it's going to be a buy the news. Like if Trump wins, he's obviously, at least in paper, more friendly to crypto than Kamala. So I think people are just going to wait and see. If Trump wins, we might get some FOMO buys in. So
yeah, I mean honestly, I'm planning on hedging going into the election in case he loses. But with that said, kind of makes sense that maybe I'll do a leverage long as well.
Yeah, I think well, generally like risk and volatility in the markets is probably a net negative for crypto. So like when people get a little risk off because they're worried about something, like the election is like an unknown event, right? Like you don't really know what's going to happen post election. You obviously don't know who's going to win, and then you don't know what the fallout is going to be of that. So that kind of creates a little bit of a risk off scenario for most markets, including crypto, where people might not want to hold as much going into it.
And again, I think it's more so the illusion, right? Because Eric was talking about, the US being like a Bitcoin buyer if Trump's in office. But, Ben Haas made a good comment and said that, he doesn't really think that they'll actually be buying Bitcoin just because the US already holds a crap ton of Bitcoin that it seized. You know what I mean? So I thought that was an interesting comment because, yeah, he could be Trump could be pro crypto, and that doesn't mean the U.S. government's going to buy crypto. It just means they might, stack everything that they already have.
Yeah. I again, I just think it's such an unknown.
Yeah,
I personally, I don't think my strategy changes at all going into it. I think I'm pretty much positioned how I'm positioned.
I'm with you on that. Like I said, I might put I'm gonna probably put a hedge on, and that's about it. Everything else is me just slowly accumulating more Bitcoin, and then organically stacking Leo and HBD.
Yeah. I mean, think
So,
that generally makes sense. I mean, I've been putting on, and we are already kind of in a pretty high volatility environment. So, you know, while I have been kind of DCAing into some of this stuff like ETH and Rune, um, and just overall kind of increasing my exposure to the upside, I have been throwing on some very small short hedges at the same time, and it's been pretty profitable just because of how volatile the markets are. Because I might, for example, the other day, I bought some Rune at like $5, and then I at the same time shorted it. So like for let's just say I bought $1,000 worth of Rune, and then I shorted $500 worth of Rune at the same time. Um, and Rune ended up, going up initially, and then it went down to like $4.30 or something. So I closed out the short, obviously made a little bit of profit on that, and then took the profit and bought Rune at the cheaper price. And then now Rune's back, just above $5. So I obviously made a little bit of profit on that volatility, while kind of hedging my buy. So we're just kind of in this volatile whipsaw environment. I mean, Bitcoin's pretty much moved up and down 2% today, just for really no reason. I mean, like the stock market's relatively unchanged. I mean, the S&P's down a little bit, Nasdaq's up like one and a quarter
I
percent, which
mean,
is kind of a lot, but
it moves for some day traders. That's some easy day trades
yeah,
people got off today.
yeah.
Nice little like 2K rip and then immediate down. Like that's crazy. Yeah, I just looked at like the 15-minute chart just out of curiosity. This all happened in like the last few hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean it's a very short period of time. Very short period of time.
I don't know.
Um, C-Poll said, regardless of the result, people need to plan accordingly. Crypto space is dependent on single events, elections happening, SEC, etc. Is not a good sign. We must build and build regardless of any outcome. I agree that some are menaces for the space, but in general, feels like people are just gambling, not building. Not the case of INLEO, of course. INLEO is always building. Let's go INLEO. So. I like that. But
Yes.
yeah, that's how we've always been is from INLEO's perspective, we've always been agnostic to the broader market. I mean, if anything, we're building a lot faster when the market's not doing well. It's a lot less distracting. Devs are more motivated, team members are more motivated in general. Um, I can even say that I'm more motivated when the market's not doing as well. I feel much more fire underneath me to achieve stuff. So, while a lot of people are gambling and doing all this garbage and unfocused work, yeah, I think you just got to remain agnostic to the markets. If anything, use the bad times to make more progress for the good times. So I think INLEO, I mean, you compare INLEO to where we were in the last cycle to where we are now, like from a technology and platform perspective, and it's night and day. And just consider that last cycle we went up to $1 in terms of the Leo price because crypto can just get crazy like that. Um, but at the end of the day, like you look at it from a fundamental, tech stack financial perspective. From a tech stack perspective, we didn't have Project Blank, which is the current version of InLeo.io. We didn't have really like 90% of the features that we have right now. And the team is bigger now. And in addition to all of that, we have monetization features that we never had before. So when we do get a surge in new users, we actually have the ability to monetize those users and profit from it, and then take those profits and buy Leo off the market. So I think Leo, that's really been my focus in this bear market is positioning Leo from a tech and financial perspective, to really benefit from the next cycle in a much bigger way than we did last time.
Hell yeah. Um, I kind of don't want to pivot back off, but we'll sidebar and then get right back into Leo. Cal, do you find it amusing that the stock market is making all-time highs as we come into the election? Coincidence?
Yeah, right. I mean, you were calling, I remember you've been calling this for a very long time. And it is amusing, and we obviously all know that there's, the political reasoning behind it is, now Kamala can essentially sit on the platform of, oh, elect me because this will continue. Um, you know, when in reality, the last 4 years of Dems being in power have been pretty dramatically terrible for the economy.
Yeah.
Um,
You know,
you know,
with
For
that
those
said,
listening, INLEO has no political affiliations with any candidate or any political party, and the opinions of the people speaking here do not reflect the opinions of INLEO. But yes, Bidenomics.
I love it. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need affiliation. Let's go. We need some government subsidies.
It's crazy because crypto in general, like even if Donald Trump was not like didn't say anything about his political campaigns and all of that and promises, crypto is again like if you want to go to the foundations and the values that Bitcoin was built upon, it was mainly against big government. So without speaking about the political wings and all of that, anything that means more authority from a central party, whatever that may be, goes pretty much against all of the values of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So it's not that oh yes, let's go this political party, let's go. No, it's just that Bitcoiners and libertarians and anyone who resembles any like who has any kind of resemblance to what this stands for will never want a big government. So it's just the way it goes.
Indeed, sir, indeed. So speaking of things, growing bigger, INLEO subscriptions, that launched, obviously. I've poked around. I see, some people subscribe to other people and this, that, and the other thing. And, I've thought about who I want to potentially subscribe to and all that good stuff. But, the good part about it is I think it is a catalyst and gives people incentive to be more active when it comes to content creation. Because I mean, even myself, you know, I talked about how my content creation has fallen off, because I basically, burnt out over creating content for the last, I mean, it's really been like 8 years. And I went hard for like 5, 6 of that. Um, but now it's got me thinking like, all right, what projects am I working on and getting ready to work on that I can turn into something that's a value add to attract subscribers, right? So, for instance, um, there's a book I've been planning to write like for shit, I don't know, last 2 or 3 years, and I just haven't had the motivation. And now I'm like, well, crap, maybe I'll just put this, on the platform and make it a subscriber based thing where I can, you know, put out whatever it is, a chapter every month or something like that. And essentially people get access to the book before I put it on Amazon. Um, and then it also holds you accountable in a lot of ways, right? So now it's just like, all right, writing this book, shit, I got to make sure I get a chapter done this month because my subscribers are waiting for it. Um, so that's just an example, but I think subscriber feature is probably creating that motivation for a lot of lions out there. Um, and I think it's only going to add to more content and better content being on the platform. Even if it is behind a paywall, it still has a net positive effect.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a huge opportunity for every creator on Hive, no matter how big or small. At the end of the day, yeah, you do need to be premium in order to launch a creator subscription, but it's free to have one. Obviously, premium has a lot of different features, and then, obviously all the curation around it, which I've always mentioned. And I actually saw something in Discord that I think is worth mentioning too, which is that I think your reason for going premium should be that you want access to all the extra features, especially with Leo AI around the corner. But all the existing features that are already there are really powerful and I think well worth the 10 HBD a month. I think that should be like the lead reason why you do it. But a secondary kind of a secondary effect of it is that if you're consistently, creating threads and blog posts, you're actually going to earn more in upvotes from Hive upvotes through Leo.voter and then Leo upvotes just from the community and the team, than the cost of premium, the 10 HBD a month. So it's premium that pays for itself. But again, I think that should be kind of like a secondary effect of being premium. The real impact of being premium is that you get access to all these extra features. So, one way I've been kind of telling creators about this is that it's essentially free to launch a creator subscription. Obviously you need the premium account. But then if you get more than 2 subscribers, you're already making back the entire cost of premium just from 2 subscribers. So, if you think you can launch a creator subscription and get anything more than 2 subscribers, I think it's well in your interest to do so. And it would be extremely profitable to do so from a premium perspective, because you mix having 2 subscribers in with covering your cost. Now it's just all profit from the perspective of upvotes and curation. So, as we roll more value into the premium model, I think we're just going to see a lot more subscribers, a lot more revolving premium subscribers. But yeah, I think, again, on Mitch's point, like if you're creating content at any level of consistency on Hive, I just think it's a no-brainer to be to launch a creator subscription and actively try to get people to subscribe to you. So I just posted a screenshot of my dashboard. I've got 22 subscribers right now. And that pays a little over $100 a month. It's paying me about $106 a month after fees. So, it's such a good value proposition, and it's finally a way to earn outside of the rewards pool on Hive, which is something I've been actively trying to fix for a long time. So, it's one of the biggest complaints I think on Hive is, I only create content to earn in the 7-day window, and it creates a very short-term mindset around content creation. But like Mitch said, he's got this plan for a book. He could start putting out like a newsletter, and then over time kind of collect all the content he needs to ultimately turn those newsletters into a book. And in the meantime, he's been getting paid and supported, on that journey to writing the book. And I think that that's really powerful.
It is, because it's wild, Cal. My real estate investing book that I wrote in 2017, I basically did that on essentially on, what would that be? Was that still Steam back then? / Hive.
Yeah.
I posted just as regular posts. I literally posted, um, each post was generally one chapter. Maybe it was, divided up into a couple posts, if it was a longer chapter. And I essentially, you know, published it on the blockchain before it ever, was a actual, like, physical book on Amazon. Um, so the fact that you can do that now, and more so, have, like you said, subscribers, and at least earn some revenue from it, as opposed to when you're just posting and it's like maybe you get votes, maybe you don't. And back in 2017, especially because like I wasn't connected to any whales or anything, that I posted that entire book, and it probably earned like $1 or two in crypto earnings. So again, just goes back to an example of why the subscriber model definitely creates a lot more incentive for people, and also gives people an opportunity to carve out their niche, right? Because generally people that are going to subscribe are people that are interested in whatever the content it is that you specialize in. Um, and you're hitting your audience, as opposed to just literally like blasting a random post out on the blockchain. And it's just like, all right, well, hopefully the right people see it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's largely become like auto voters, and you kind of know what you're going to earn on Hive, and there isn't much variance to it, in my opinion. The general upvoting economy is kind of set in stone in many, many ways. So yeah, this has been one of my many ideas to fix that, including, obviously evergreen rewards, which I am going to bring back when we relaunch Leo ads with the, internal facing model, where we cut out the middleman. So, that will come back as well. So I'm just trying to find ways And again, now we've got this very clearly defined, audience and target market that we're trying to go after, which is the small and medium-sized creators. So, it all ties back into that idea, which is, how do we provide the tools and the leverage for these small to medium-sized creators to actually earn, valuable rewards for the hard work that they put in? Because on other platforms, they put in the hard work and they have little to show for it. They ultimately try to build a brand and they work really hard at it. But these other platforms just don't have enough opportunity on them, in my opinion. The rewards and the opportunity flow to the top 1%. They flow to the Mr. Beasts of the world. They don't flow to the middle class on these other platforms. So I think catering to that, because we have, these really kind of two critical aspects, which is one, we're a smaller platform, so there's just generally more opportunity in something that's, up and coming. And then two, kind of a more factual standpoint is, we've got tokenization, so you can have 0 followers, post a thread, get an upvote from the right user, and now you're immediately earning something for your content. Whereas obviously on X and other platforms, if you have 0 followers, you're earning absolutely nothing. Even if you have, like, the INLEO account has 16,000 followers on X and it earns $0. If you had 16,000 followers on INLEO, you'd be one of the most followed users on the platform. And probably be earning, somewhere in the kind of top tier range in terms of rewards, anywhere from like $1,000 plus per month. So, being that we're tokenized and on the blockchain is a huge aspect. And then now having things like creator subscriptions and then eventually evergreen rewards come back. Again, it just stacks. We're just creating a stack of opportunities for these extra, for these creators that are really underserved on other platforms. Salome said, would be awesome to have a feature to unlock a single thread that is for subscribers with a small Leo or HBD payment, like pay for this thread to view it, $1 or subscribe for $5. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of an interesting idea with the micro payments. Other people have thought about that. It's definitely something we can do. I mean, the system already allows for it. The system we built for creator subscriptions is pretty unique. It's not just like a peer-to-peer encryption layer. It actually has a middleman encryption layer. So we can do stuff like that where it just allows you to view one thing for a small payment. So yeah, maybe at some point we'll do something like that.
That's, yeah, little a la carte action, just single post payouts. It's funny too, because technically that's a better value for creators, because if someone, let's just say, pays $1 because they want to see like one specific post or something, um, it's actually a better value proposition. Um, Total random sidebar, but Cal, is it me or does it look like there's like the shadow of death, like with its hand on Eric's shoulder right now?
It does. It looks like there's like 2 long fingers.
It looks like Eric's gonna about to get pulled into the realm of darkness.
Yeah, it's
No,
his pop filter.
it's the microphone.
Yeah, it was just funny, like when it was sitting on your shoulder like that.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Sorry. Anyway. Um,
Um,
yeah, it's cool stuff. Honestly, Cal, it's funny you mentioned about, like people on, X, for instance, or whatever. Like the subscription model on InLeo, it makes it so much more enticing now for content creators on, Web 2 platforms. Because now it's just like, it's not just like, oh, you can earn crypto if people vote on your crap. It's like, no, literally, like people can subscribe and, you know, you can earn for the same content. So yeah, I think it makes it a way easier pitch now for Web 2 content creators.
Yeah, I agree. We tell them that they can come onto the platform and immediately start earning rewards. And while you might not earn, thousands of dollars a month from, upvotes, you might earn, $100 a month or $200 a month or $500 a month in terms of upvotes. And it's kind of like you're earning that on the journey to building your audience, where then your long-term goal is you're making these like micro earnings through upvotes, and then eventually you build a large enough audience where you have, say, like 100 people subscribe to you, and now you're making, $500 a month from creator subscription, and then so you've got that kind of immediate monetization, and then you've got the long term monetization of having, you know, your audience built up. And something I refer to very frequently is that Kevin Kelly article about 1,000 true fans, which is, you know, everybody should be trying to build 1,000 true fans. So if you imagine a scenario where eventually you have 1,000 true fans on INLEO, that's 1,000 people subscribe to you, you'd be making $5,000 a month. You know, obviously minus the 1% fee that goes to buying the Leo token. But you'd be earning, you know, very close to $5,000 a month for 1,000 subscribers. So, and on that journey to building 1,000 subscribers, you also are getting tokenized rewards the entire time. And also, you know, Taskmaster would remind you that you're getting stake in the platform, and as the platform grows, you grow along with the platform. The token becomes worth more. So you're just earning from all these different avenues, and really generating wealth from that perspective, you know, by building stake. So yeah, I think it's really powerful that we now have these two aspects of earning in place, which is the immediate tokenization and then the long term, you know, in terms of monetizing your brand. And speaking of tokens, staking and building your wealth, it is Leo Power Up Day today, October 15th. So 15th of every month, it's Leo Power Up Day. Eric, what are our prizes and information looking like this week in terms of this month in terms of LPUD? I know there were a couple changes. So yeah, do you want to give the people an update on everything and what staking Leo can get them?
Yes, definitely. So, you know, there has been some changes in the way that the Leo token interacts with the interface and with the community. Before we had the model of receiving your Leo staked, the focus of LPUD was to encourage people and then provide some kind of prizes that would allow people to say, oh, I can help the platform, I can help my stake, and at the same time, I can be eligible for some prizes. So once the change of receiving staked Leo, we changed a little bit how the strategy works. The focus is the same, it's just the way that we deliver it. So the sponsor list has been updated, and let me just check it here.
Self-help for trolls, while you're looking for that, said he put in orders for 15,000 Leo. His prices are criminal. Pretty incredible.
Nice.
A lot of Leo.
Nice, perfect. So we have yes, like 150,000 Leo confirmed as delegations for the community. And there were some people who said, hey, I don't want to continue doing this, not because I don't want to, but because I want to focus on providing to the community some other ways. And we are talking with them. We're speaking with these guys to see how we can encourage some other type of activities that are not so much focused in output, but on increasing engagement in the platform. So it's, yeah, TBLF for some, Nifty, G Adrian, Best. Yeah, there's still 12 people who are actively delegating to output. That's more than 150,000 Leo in delegations. And yeah, that's basically it. And what, there was something here. Oh yeah, of course. The terms stay the same. You have to power up at least 50 Leo to be eligible for some of the rewards, and you have to power up 150 Leo if you want to be eligible for all of the rewards. All you need to do is basically upload. Dude, I forgot the word. Power up some Leo on the 15th of the month, and you will be eligible to earn these prizes. And at the same time, you know, the whole purpose of Leo Power Up Day is to signal how bullish the community is on INLEO and the Leo token. This, like I said, this is also translated on how many people receive their staked Leo from delegations, but also this is an active initiative. So if you like what the team is doing, if you like how the community is doing, then just power up some Leo every single 15th of the month, because that actually helps us signal bullishness on the ecosystem.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Leo Power Up Days is extremely important. It's definitely been a little bit in the background these past couple months. I feel like we've all been very focused on other things and features and whatnot, but yeah, I still think Leo Power Up Days is just a valuable monthly reminder. And I do think that more content should come out talking about, building your stake in the INLEO ecosystem. If you think that we're going to succeed in terms of growing our monthly active users, growing the revenue from those users, growing the number of premiums that are subscribed, obviously growing the activity behind creator subscriptions, which now generates revenue for Leo buybacks as well. So, and then obviously Leo ads around the corner. So if you think we're going to be successful in terms of releasing all this technology, and then also growing the user base, then I think it's kind of a no-brainer, but obviously not financial advice. Mod Manga, we'll see you later. Self-help for trolls said powering up now, 5,000 Leo. He also said I buy a few thousand every week these days, keeping some loose because I'm destroying my Hive stack. I need to take some profits. Ben Haas staked 150. Bradley Arrow bought 2,000 for next month. Went on to stake 200. Ben Haas asked if I put 50,000 on the map. So if you missed it, I put out a poll last night right before midnight. And I said, should I stake 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, or 50,000 Leo? The poll's not done yet, but so far 50,000 is winning. Surprise, surprise. So I will most likely buy 50,000 Leo at some point today when that poll gets closer to ending. But you can go vote. I linked it in the threadcast if you want to go vote.
Go front
Salami
run,
asked a good.
Cal.
What's that?
Go front run, Cal.
Yeah, you can
The
go
other
front run
one.
me right now because I just told you I'm about to buy 50,000 Leo, so feel free. Salami said, how are images stored in subscriber only threads or posts? Are they encrypted too? So that's a pretty good question. So technically the image is not encrypted, the image itself, but the link to the image is encrypted. So it's kind of interesting how that works. It's very similar to, like, I would say the best kind of comparison for it would be like an unlisted video on YouTube. The image is not essentially, unless you have the link, you can't really find the image, and the link is encrypted. So yeah, it would be pretty hard to find images that are stored in sub-only threads and posts. But technically they can be found. But yeah, again, kind of like an unlisted private video on YouTube. It's like if you have the link, you can see it, but if you don't have the link, it's going to be really hard to find it. Ben Haas asked, what do you guys drink while holding the calls? I usually mainline coffee and water. And lately I've been putting Celtic salt in my water for the electrolytes. So that's been something I started doing the past couple months, just to help with hydration and whatnot. But that's what I drink. What do you guys drink during the AMAs?
I usually
Cat
just
held up a bottle of water.
I usually just drink water, but some days when I had a terrible night yesterday, so usually when I'm tired, I get some coffee. I don't tend to drink coffee like ever, but when I'm feeling tired or when I need a boost of energy, I drink coffee. I don't drink energy drinks, so there's that.
Smart. Honestly, every time I drink
Yeah,
one, I feel bad about
Mitch, I
myself.
think you're muted on the space.
Oh, am I? Heck, I don't even remember doing it that time. I told Eric that he's smart for not drinking energy drinks.
Yeah, at one point I tried them. I remember there was this during the Zealy campaigns where I was probably like sleeping like 3-4 hours a day before we we grew the team, I was drinking probably like two to three Red Bulls a day. It was just like two
Jesus.
weeks. It was just like 2 weeks. But I mean, it's better than drugs, right? So
That is true. You know, the lesser of the evils. So, yeah, for the most part, I got off of coffee. The only time I drink coffee is like if I go on like a coffee date or something, which uh dating hack for the guys, coffee dates saves you a lot of money.
yeah.
But
One
anyway,
one thing that's
as
very,
far as
very
like
good.
regular though,
Go ahead,
what's
go
up?
ahead. Now, I was just gonna say that one thing that is very, very good is hibiscus flower, like you make like some flavored
I've
water
had
of hibiscus.
hibiscus tea.
Yeah, and but then you add honey and you add pink salt, and then you can basically run on that for days.
Well,
It's
maybe that'll
yeah.
make it enjoyable because so far, like just the hibiscus alone, I am not a fan of. I've had like flavored ones where it's like raspberry hibiscus, but no, my go-to in the last couple of years has become matcha. And what I didn't know about matcha tea, which you know is a form of green tea, it's like a better green tea. I didn't realize that, you know, obviously it's got some caffeine in it, and it's like probably half of what coffee has, but it's got the amino acid L-theanine, and apparently it's a been a bunch of research because now it's a supplement that you can literally like there's a supplement you can buy that's basically like a pill. It's caffeine and L-theanine, and people that have like ADHD and ADD like are swearing by it, like helping them be able to be more focused and blah 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 blah. And I don't know, maybe that's a thing because in the last like year or so, um, I feel like I've definitely kind of like chilled out in a lot of those like ADHD type things, so to speak. And I was thought maybe it was just, you know, some growth. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's just the F and T I've been drinking. So matcha tea
Yeah.
for the win for me.
Yeah, I mean I have a huge coffee addiction. I probably drink about 8 to 10 cups a day.
What?
Yeah. Uh yeah,
That is
it's pretty bad.
Bananas.
Well, it gets worse. Usually I'll drink coffee all morning, and then I'll switch to green tea, which also has L-theanine in it, which I agree with you that it has like a focus enhancer because when I drink the green tea, I feel very like dialed in. Whereas when I drink
Yeah.
the coffee, I feel very like jittery but fast, if that makes sense. So really good for just getting a lot of shit done. The green tea is really good for like focusing in on a handful of things. Um, so I'll do green tea until the afternoon. And then when I go to the gym, I'd usually take pre-workout or I'll drink an energy drink. So um, I've lately I've been trying to cut off the caffeine after like 3 or 4 p.m. Because I used to drink caffeine until like literally like 7, 8, 9 p.m. And then, it would just be constant. So I've tried to cut back on it and switch to some other things. So like some non-caffeinated teas has been a good option.
This is
I also like hibiscus
wild.
tea, but yeah,
It's so wild.
I mean, you saw
I,
me in Vegas, Mitch. That was kind of my natural state. I always had like a monster in hand or
You really did actually. Yeah. And I
something.
remember I actually ended up drinking a couple monsters because you were like, I'm going to get a monster. You want one? I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm gassed too.
Yeah, that's pretty much my natural state. So
Oh my God. Your poor liver.
yeah, well, gotta get
Yeah.
shit done.
That's right.
When it
It's a
comes
good thing
to
Cal's young.
when it comes to focusing, I found that fasting or doing keto, it's pretty good because you get rid of all the slowing down factors like carbohydrates and all of that. So, and yeah, I got back to smoking like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, because I was
Uh,
too fat, and
so
I was
you
eating too
replaced
much.
one oral habit for the other. You're like, all right, I gotta start smoking again so I can lose weight.
Yeah, because I think I gained like 20 pounds since I stopped smoking, and since I started smoking again, I lost 10 already. So
That's so wild.
yeah, I mean, you
I
need
mean, you could have
something,
started
and
you could have started just like chewing gum or something instead.
I don't know. I don't know. It's
I don't know,
the
just trying to throw out ideas.
yeah. What I
Task
do
Taskmaster
know.
said two pots minimum. That doesn't surprise me. Task looks like a two pots guy.
Yeah, he looks like a black coffee, 2 pots a day type of guy.
I'm with you on the black too.
Yeah.
Two pots, straight black, old school.
Yeah, someone asked what Web3 Labs asked if we drink coffee with or without sugar. They prefer without. Um, I heard something about salt on the water. Yeah, I've been starting to put salt in my water, and I feel like it makes a little bit of a difference.
Well, if you,
Um,
yeah, if you put salt in, actually a little bit of salt in coffee, it cuts the acidity.
oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Maybe I'll try
Yeah.
that
Well,
too.
that's main reason I don't want to drink coffee anymore is because like it's instant heartburn for me, like
Hmm.
products of getting older, I guess, because I was fine with coffee until like my mid 30s. But so I looked at all the options in terms of that, but at the end of the day, me just staying away from coffee is the win. But yeah, there's a bunch of different things you can do. But yeah, the salt trick is one of them. When
Yeah.
Nanda said, "Do you take espresso?" That's about the only way I do coffee now. I'll do like an Americano because it's just a shot of espresso with water, and I find that actually does way better for me than straight coffee. I don't know. We're gonna have to start a coffee coin after all this coffee talk.
Coffee coin.
But anyway, back to crypto.
Yeah, Tass said black coffee like a fine woman.
There you go.
That's funny.
What is there any in Leo updates or anything that you need to give still, or are we pretty much in good shape?
Yeah, well, this was meant to kind of focus in on creator subs a
Yeah.
little bit and talk about them. I do have a bunch of questions that I opened in a new tab, so we didn't lose them. So I do want to get to those, but
Hit 'em
just in
up.
terms of general updates and where things are at, um, the next the rest of October is going to go like this. Just to give you guys a little bit of a roadmap. And side note, part of my creator subscription is that I'm going to do a monthly call, and that monthly call is tomorrow, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be right after Chain Chatter. So it'll be a
Ooh.
private call with only my subs.
Dude, I love that idea. I should do
Yeah,
that. I mean, I do Zoom calls all the time anyway. I literally could just do like a private like investor club type call and be like, ask Cat anything. I mean,
yeah.
because
I think you should do it.
I mean, at least I have that going for me. I mean, after 25 plus years of investing, I know a lot of investing principles on a lot of different things. Huh.
Yeah, do it.
I love
Yeah.
these ideas.
Well, I'll just tell you what I'm doing, and then take whatever you want from it. I'm doing a weekly newsletter. I'm doing 3 threads a day, which include, things about my investments. It also has like behind the scenes of like INLEO development that I wouldn't normally share publicly. I'm doing a weekly private video, so I post that every Monday at noon Eastern. The newsletter I post every Friday at noon Eastern. Um, and then I'm doing the monthly private, I'm calling it like private AMA or private call. And then in it, I'm actually going to share you guys will see it tomorrow if you're subscribed to me, but um, in the private call, I'm actually going to share like the near term roadmap, which will have a lot of details that I don't share publicly. And then I'm also going to allow, like during the call, the subscribers will be able to tell me what they think of the roadmap, like give me live feedback. And then I will actually like kind of change the roadmap if I hear feedback that makes me change my opinion about what we should do, when we should do it, etc. So being a subscriber of mine can actually means that you actually will be able to guide the development of INLEO in some ways. Um, so yeah, I'm doing all of that. And then I have had this idea, Mitch, which I think you could actually steal because I don't know if I'll do it. It's just something I've thought about. Is doing if you did like a more of a mastermind, like once a month, where you actually bring on a guest who's like an expert in some field. I see a lot of other people doing that in like the broader, because I've been kind of studying up on what other people do with subscriptions on other platforms like Substack and Patreon. And a big thing that people do is they have like a mastermind where they'll invite, and I know you've actually been a guest on other people's masterminds too. they'll invite an expert in a certain field, and they'll have them come on and talk to their subscribers, about that field, and kind of give them ideas and spitball things with them. So I think that could be cool. Like, you could have people that like that are active in these industries like real estate, and have them come on and give like a more intimate, private talk on on their industry and how to be successful in it, etc. So there's just so many ideas out there, and it's really just what you
Yeah.
make of it.
No, that's actually a sick idea. And yeah, it's something that already happens in Web 2. And I mean, at one point I was kind of running a mastermind call like that, and I still quasi have one, but it's more just a handful of guys where we just like to get together once every couple weeks, and talk about life and investment. But um really, yeah, just another potential tool and avenue to leverage subscriptions. So pretty cool. Really what I'm seeing is it's becoming a bridge for like Web 2 activities with Web 3. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It's like kind of creating that like easy kind of almost like organic conduit when that wasn't really there. It was always more of a little bit of like work. It was like almost like having to kind of climb uphill, where now it's like, oh, sweet, there's just this little bridge now I can walk over. That's kind of the vibe, I think, in terms of being able to cross over. So I like it. Sweet. Well, a bunch of people should just subscribe, and then I will provide some cool ass shit.
cool ass shit. It's
Paid in the
called it's
cat.
called it's Cat's Cast subscription. Cool ass shit.
Cat's Castle.
Yep.
Come on in and be part of the kingdom.
That's funny. I like that.
What's really crazy is I just went to do like a coffee gif or whatever as a joke, and I was kind of trying to find something like no sugar or whatever. But anyway, um, I typed in like no sugar for my coffee, and I'm scrolling through the gifs, and literally there's a coffee cup getting just filled up, and I mean,
got a
it
Hive
looks
logo.
like the Hive logo.
That is the Hive
I,
logo.
I was like, that's so random. It was like the fourth gift that came up by me searching no sugar in my coffee. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah, GIFs can be a good marketing strategy. I mean, we should definitely consider doing like we should own the Lion GIF market. I don't know why we don't.
That is
Um,
valid.
but we should own the Lion GIF market. And then you'd have like a little watermark on all of them that say INLEO.io. Salami said next feature for premium users, have a Shopify like page where customers can buy stuff with HBD. Yeah, I mean, if you go back way back in time, we built Leo Shop, which was like digital. Um, we were allowing people to buy and sell digital products. That turned out to be a major pain in the ass, which with a very small market. I think creator subs kind of give the best of both worlds, where we don't need to worry about like individual, like there were so many like individual products. Like if you think about it, like every product had an individual SKU number, and we had to deal with all of those issues. So we were like running an entire marketplace, but there were like 5 customers. So it was like not worth our time or money or investment to run that. Uh, but creator subscriptions are like, it's a one SKU product. Like everybody just launches a creator subscription and it's equal. So it's like, it's up to the creator to make their creator subscription whatever they want it to be. But from the INLEO team and technology perspective, it's like one SKU. Like we don't have to worry about multiple layers to the product or like different variants of the product. It's actually why I also removed some of the complexity. So like being able to set the price of your subscription is something that we were going to do. And then I decided not to do it, at least for now, because it just adds a lot of complexity to a very small system. And adding that complexity kind of removes the profitability and efficiency of it. So we wanted to abstract some of that complexity away. So doing a shop would be like interesting. Maybe when we have like 100,000 monthly active users, doing a shop would be a more interesting thing to do because we just have the market for it. But right now, I think I've really been trying to, if you actually look at the development, you'll see me doing this, but I've been trying to find ways to create like fully automated features where it's like we put the template out there, and I've called it a modular experience in the past. We put the template out there, we put the tech out there, and then it's up to you guys to do with it whatever you want. So it's like, we're selling hammers and screwdrivers and then saying, do with that whatever you want to do. But we're putting the tool in your hands. and we're not like trying to provide the other end of the spectrum, which is like how you have to use it or how you can use it. It's really just kind of like limitless options based on what you guys make of it. So just to cover our bases really quick and talk about upcoming development. For the rest of October, we obviously released creator subscriptions. It was actually our smoothest launch ever. If you guys noticed, it was very bug free. I mean, I think there were less than 5 bugs that were reported literally since it launched last week. So very bug free. We've already fixed those things. Really most of the feedback so far has been adding more features to it. Like people want to be able to see who their subscribers are very easily, and some other features like that. So, really like the bug reporting has been very few and far between, which I like to see. We had a little bit of a different rollout process for this, which I think we'll be using for future launches. So very bug free. Now we do have a list of bugs, like general bugs, not just related to creator subscriptions. There's only about 11 of them left. We were up to about 22, and we've already knocked out about half the list. So if you do find bugs, make sure you report it in hashtag feedback. For the next week until October 21st, we're going to be focused on the bugs. So we're going to be clearing out all the existing bugs that we know about. While we do that, we're also rewriting the entire Threads API. So this is actually something we've wanted to do for a long time, but this is going to be like Threads v2. From the front end perspective, you're going to notice that it's a little bit faster, a little bit smoother, less app errors in general. With Threads v2, ultimately it's just kind of like cleaning up technical debt. So it's a back end improvement that will have some front end repercussions. The main reason we're doing it is that it sets us up for more scalability, and you'll see that we're not only rewriting for Threads v2, but we're also doing some things with the servers. So we're scaling up our server size, and we're making the back end much more scalable. This is in preparation for the Dash integrations. I've been speaking with the Dash team, pretty intimately, and then I was on their podcast last Friday, talking about the integrations, talking about INLEO. I firmly believe that Dash is going to bring thousands of users pretty much instantaneously to INLEO, and then we're also talking about doing a lot of co-marketing, to bring more users. So they essentially want to turn INLEO into like their front-facing social media app for Dash users. And I have a lot of ideas for essentially reskinning the UI. And I'll talk about this if you want to hear all of these plans. And actually, I'll be sharing like the physical designs for this stuff in my call tomorrow, the sub-only call. So subscribe now. I've done like 10 plugs during this show. Subscribe if you want to see those. But the idea I have is that we're actually going to like reskin the UI for Dash users. So like if you do a Lite account, so you'll be able to do a Lite account if you have a Dash wallet. And if you do a Lite account using the Dash wallet, the UI is obviously going to automatically know that you're a Dash user. We're going to like change the theme of INLEO to be like kind of Dash focused. Obviously maintaining all the feet, like everything is going to be the same, but it's like reskinned. So like the payout module will default to showing you your payout in terms of Dash. Your actual payouts will automatically be paid to your Dash wallet, instead of like earning Leo Hive HBD. You're actually going to be paid out in Dash, and it's going to use Leo Dex on the back end. And then the Dash logo is going to be present in a few different places. When you click on your wallet, it's going to default to showing you your Dash balance. So it to a Dash user who logs in using their Dash wallet, it's almost going to look like INLEO was built for Dash, that's my goal with this kind of a reskin approach. And we're not going to just apply it to Dash. And I was talking to the Dash team because they have a lot of connections. They actually came up with the idea, and it's obviously something I'm a fan of, which is that if we're very, very successful with the Dash ecosystem, they're going to connect us with other ecosystems. So they have a lot of connections with like Zcash, Maya, and other ecosystems. And and they're going to say, hey, we did this thing, this reskin approach with INLEO. Look at how well it's working for our community. And then we'll be able to apply that reskin approach to other cryptos and start onboarding them one by one. And then their users actually will look at INLEO as if it was built for their user base. And it will just look like it's catering to their user base, and it actually will be in many ways. But really the INLEO approach, like the features and the platform, all remain identical. So like all the data is stored on Hive, all the features are the same, but we're just kind of from the front end perspective, from the end user perspective, making it very like Dash oriented or whatever crypto oriented. So obviously just focus on Dash right now and make that a huge success. And then we'll be able to kind of take this approach, this framework and template to other ecosystems. So until October 21st, it's all bug fixes and rewriting for Threads v2, increasing server sizes, really just getting ready for an onslaught of new users. Just the floodgates are going to open, in my opinion. So I want to be ready for that. I don't want to see the UI crashing and having, scalability issues. And then on October 21st until the end of the month, we're going to be completely focused on the Dash integration. So we're going to be launching light accounts using the Dash wallet. We're going to be launching the cash out feature using Dash. And then we're going to have payments using Dash. So you'll be able to subscribe to Premium, INLEO Premium using Dash. You'll be able to subscribe to creators using Dash. So like the 5 HBD, like let's say that like someone comes in from the Dash ecosystem and they want to subscribe to Mitch and pay $5 a month to subscribe to him. They'll actually be able to pay $5 worth of Dash to subscribe to Mitch, but Mitch will earn it as HBD. So it'll still remain HBD from his perspective as a creator, but from their perspective as a subscriber, they're paying in Dash. And if you're curious how that works, here's the beauty of what we did with LeoDex, and now you can see kind of the broader vision kind of taking shape. We built the rails for LeoDex, where now we can accept Dash and really any crypto, any native crypto, and we can automatically convert it across the LeoDex rails into Hive, HBD, and Leo. So a creator subscription can happen where someone can pay with Dash to subscribe to Mitch, but Mitch receives the payment as HBD, and on the back end, the user just sends Dash, and then LeoDex converts it into HBD using Maya protocol, and then pays Mitch. So you can also do that with native Bitcoin, native Ethereum, USDC Arbitrum, all the different currencies that are on Maya now and in the future. And in the future, it's going to be literally every crypto, because they're going to have their Thor chain aggregator and chain flip aggregator and all of that. So really any crypto in, and you can output Leo Hive HBD and vice versa. So that kind of broader vision is really taking shape with this Dash integration as well. Self-help for trolls. So Dash will be used to buy HBD. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be, I think, a really good selling point for us to the Hive ecosystem, which is that we are actually creating permanent buy pressure on Hive and HBD, because for example, like if a Dash user subscribes to Mitch and pays the 5 HBD a month, they're actually paying $5 worth of Dash, which then gets converted into Leo on Arbitrum, and then it gets unwrapped from Leo Arbitrum to Leo on Hive, and then it buys Hive, and then it converts it to HBD, and then it sends it to Mitch. So it is creating a kind of permanent route into the Hive ecosystem, and it's bringing. See, this is the beauty of economies, and when you look at, like, you can use countries as an example. You want countries that export goods, because that brings money from the outside in. So you're producing goods, you're selling those goods to other countries or ecosystems in our case, and you're bringing new, fresh capital into your ecosystem. So that's what we're doing with the Leo token and with Hive, is we are going out into the world and we have products to sell. We've got creator subs, we've got premium. We're selling those products to the outside world, bringing new, fresh capital into the Hive and Leo ecosystem. And that's ultimately what's going to have us grow from an economic perspective. So I think at scale, Leo being very successful in this mission is going to bring, millions of dollars in value to the Hive ecosystem. And that is exactly what I just described with, have products and sell them to other ecosystems. And that's how you bring capital in.
Right on. Yeah. I'm
That's
pretty
how the rest
excited
of
when you told
October
me
looks.
this. Yeah, when you told me about this, I was like, wow, yeah, this is the way, you know, because we've been trying to onboard full ecosystems, but in the end, the way that you are managing it with the reskin so that Dash users feel like they're using a Dash product, even though if the rails are on INLEO and Hive, etc. Like people want to feel that sense of belonging and that sense of ownership. And if they are already like hardcore community members of another community, then you have to cater a little bit to that. So that keeps the essence of INLEO true to its colors or to our colors, but at the same time adding some sense of belonging to other communities. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Andresino said, looks like you found the perfect match with Dash. Yeah, it's they're a very collaborative ecosystem, and I met Joel in person in Croatia, and we really connected over just crypto ideals in general. So I think working with the Dash team is going to be really incredible. And one thing that we've both agreed on is that, Dash has the brand recognition. They've been around in this industry for so long, and really everybody knows them. And INLEO has a superior product in terms of the Web3 space. We have a superior social media product. There's, in Michael Saylor's words, there is no second best. Like, our social media product is unparalleled in the Web3 space. And, the Dash team agrees with that, and essentially merging their brand recognition and user base with our product, I think is a really good match. And I think we're going to see a lot of positives come from this. Task said, one thing subscription does is allow a cleanup of the latest feed. You can go to the sub-only feed and see private threads of those you subscribe to. Yeah, if you ever just want like a more curated experience, definitely. Definitely agree with that.
I really like how Caleb Marvel shared, the interface is handling very, very well the share of threads, of nested threads or nested comments. If you scroll a little bit to the top, you will see how Caleb Marvel shared a comment by Sabrina, who shared a comment by Caleb, who shared a comment by Sabrina, who shared a comment by Taskmaster. So nice. It's a bunch of nested replies on top of other replies.
Tess said, I'm watching the AMA on Leo. Yeah, I've started to edit in after you guys requested it. I started to edit in the YouTube. Eric, I think your video is not working on Zoom, by the way. I've started to edit in the YouTube link into the main thread so that you guys can are able to see it. Self-Help Patrol said INLEO is going to end up being the Noster for non-Bitcoin maxis. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you can have native Bitcoin be a part of this as well. So, you could foresee, like, literally we could onboard the Bitcoin ecosystem and make it look like INLEO was a product for Bitcoin users because they can use INLEO and get paid in Bitcoin. So this is where our marketing is really going to take shape, is we can go to ecosystems, and Dash is going to be obviously the template for this. We can go to ecosystems like Dash and we can say, if you want to use social media and get paid in Dash, INLEO is the only place you can do it. And that's how we're going to be approaching it. And from their perspective, they log in with their Dash wallet, they interact with their Dash wallet, they get paid their rewards into their Dash wallet, they pay for premium and creator subscriptions using Dash and their Dash wallet. And then on the back end, all the data is stored and retrieved from the Hive blockchain. So it's not bloating the Dash blockchain. And it also has all the, positives that Hive has that other blockchains don't. But from their perspective, they're doing everything out of their Dash wallet, whether it's payments or social interactions or signing up and logging in. It's all being done inside of their Dash wallet. So I think that's really where all the power comes from. So I'm very excited to see how this works and use it as a template for the future and for onboarding other ecosystems.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that, it's a crypto-based, community. I think that's an easier onboard than, boys focusing on the web two, trying to drag them over. So good stuff. And
Yep.
yeah, be exciting to watch the user base grow from the Dash partnership.
Yep. Yeah,
But
Task said, plus it all goes through LeoDex. And a connected question is Self Out for Troll said, wait, so they'll be earning in Dash. So yeah, they're earning Leo Hive HBD, and then we are converting it to Dash using LeoDex, which brings up the question of, is that constant sell pressure on Leo Hive HBD? And the answer is kind of. But the key is that you're creating a two-way street. So when they do pay for premium or pay for creator subs, it creates the opposite flow, which whereas Dash is being sold into Hive HBD and Leo. And then, like Task said, it's all going through LeoDex. So one thing for LeoDex is that we've been trying to build up the trading volume there, and this has built-in trading volume for LeoDex, and we earn an affiliate fee every time there's a trade on LeoDex. We also earn the bridging fees for Leo. So when they convert, they obviously have to go through Leo Arbitrum, which is a bridge fee for us. And then we also are going to charge a conversion fee on the rewards. So if you don't have to choose to have your rewards auto converted, but if you do, for the convenience, we're going to charge you kind of like a convenience fee of like, I'm thinking 5% right now. That's my rough idea, for having your rewards auto converted to Dash. And that 5% is going to permanently buy Leo and pool it. And it'll be another form of system income for the Leo token. So we're creating a lot of like permanent buy pressure. I've said this on the Dash podcast too. I'm very much of the opinion that you should make it very easy for people to cash in and cash out. I don't believe in like locking people into your ecosystem and locking into the token. The people that are going to sell are always going to sell. So it's like make it really easy for them to sell if they're going to sell anyways, and then just charge them a convenience fee and use the convenience fee as permanent buy pressure. And like Tass said, forget the sell pressure. Network effects are much more important. As more people get involved, it increases the value of the platform 100%. I mean, that's more data for Leo AI. It's also more premium users. It's more creator subscriptions being sold. It's more Leo ad revenue. So more users is what's going to push up the Leo price. Holding people into the Leo token is not going to push up the Leo price. And we've seen that play out time and time again. So really our key is, can we get more users? Can we get more premium subscribers? Can we get more creator subscriptions? Can we get more ad views? Can we get more data for Leo AI? That's ultimately going to push up the Leo price.
always makes everyone
Question.
happy. Price going up.
Price
Price
going
going up.
up.
Eric, before you jump into that, I got a dip. I got a 1:30 that I'm a minute late for. So always good seeing you guys. And yeah, looking forward to the subscriber model growing and growing and seeing these Dash users get part of INLEO. So awesome stuff.
Yep.
Good seeing you guys. Good seeing everyone else out in the Threadcast. And yeah, we'll see you in the INLEO universe.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for coming, Mitch. I think it's a good place to
All right.
stop as well, but we'll catch you later.
Thanks, guys.
See ya. Yeah, I
See
think
you,
it's a good place
Mitch.
to stop, Eric, and then it'll make the recording editing easier if we jump off too. Any closing thoughts?
Well, I don't think so. The initial conversation about market was pretty good, and it's always nice to see, well, to hear about some updates on Leo. Of course, I have the the first row to learn about all of this, but I'm pretty excited about Dash, and like I told you in DMs, it's we have the technology and they have the eyes or the attention, so this collaboration is going to really take in Leo and at the same time Hive to the next level. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I think this is a pivotal moment for INLEO as an ecosystem, as a community, as a project, as a token. Like I said, we've built this tech stack for 5 years. We've gotten it to a place where now the platform is fun to use, easy to use, has a good user experience, and that's also improving as well. And then now we've also got the monetization features in place to to truly benefit from an increase in users. And then now the key is getting users. So yeah, collaborating with an ecosystem like Dash is how we get to that end state, which is, 10,000 monthly active users, 1,000 premium subscribers, countless creator subscriptions getting sold, obviously Leo ads getting relaunched by the end of the year. So all that attention getting monetized as well. So yeah, I'm happy with how things are shaping up. And I think it's just, it's the beginning of the floodgates in terms of marketing and onboarding. But the tech stack is in a very good place. I'm very happy with it. But yeah, thanks, Eric. Thanks, Mitch, who's gone. And we will have a chain chatter tomorrow. I got to talk to Eric about the guest, but we'll do one. And then subscribe to my creator sub if you want to come to the private AMA tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Where we'll do a road mapping session and talk about some private things related to INLEO development. So it'll be a good monthly. That's the 1 time per month session that I'll be holding. So get ready for that. If you are a subscriber already, look out for the threads and blog posts that will announce that and give you instructions on how to join the private call. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks, Eric. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
See you guys. See you, Kyle. Thank you.
See ya.